and thank you for clicking on this video. So I wanted to ask you, are you of the world or in the world? So this is a real important distinction to make. And actually, I brought this question up a while ago when I did some shorts, the playlist questions of the day or something like that. But it is really important to bring up and have this distinction. So I wanted to ask you, are you of the world or are you in the world? And there's a difference there. If you don't know right now what that difference is, stick with me here. But it's important to understand really kind of the foundation of like kind of like what we are, who we are and all that. I've mentioned before many times that we're not our physical body. We are our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts, and what we would call our morals and ethics and all that. The things you don't see it with the physical eyes. And I've talked about, about how this whole world is temporary. Everything of the world is temporary. So, and it's death. Because life does not die. Life is eternal. And again, when our physical bodies die, we live, okay? Because we are a creation of the eternal creator, the eternal almighty, of God, okay? And it's very, very important because where your awareness is it's important to be aware of where your awareness is, really. Like where your heart is, your treasure will follow. Okay. Like, is your heart of the world or just in the world? Do you desire worldly things, like worldly possessions, more than God? Then you are of the world. If you desire God more than earthly things, then you are just in the world. Okay, there's a difference there. And when I say it's, when you put God first, above, desire God more than worldly things, God is, keep in mind, God is love, joy, peace, truth. And I've said many times on videos, you got to really put truth first, which is putting God first, above your ego, above being right, above all that stuff, right? Above feeling good, because a lot of times the truth doesn't feel good, because we are all learning here. And when you think you have truth, and it's really, that's why you have to be open still, because when you think you have truth, you close yourself off to it. If you think you already know, you're not going to go searching for it. But let me tell you, there's an infinite God with an infinite universe. Creation is infinite, and so you'll never end. You'll never know it all, okay? At least while here in the world, okay? So we're all obviously in the world. But again, are you of the world? Do you only look at and use worldly measurements? Are you the type of person that says, I only believe what these eyes see, the physical eyes see? Even when maybe something inside you kind of dismiss like truth, like even if you have that feeling, the intuition, stuff like that, you put that aside because, well, no, this is what I was told, or this is what experts told me, or this is what my physical eyes see. So you put what you really are secondary and put kind of almost what's outside of you first? Okay? Or do you follow that gut instinct or your feelings? Are you true and authentic? What's inside, you show outside. Do you put that first? So it's what's inside is first, and what's outside is second. Okay, it's not. It's what you put first. Okay, it's basically comes down to what you put first. So are you of the world? Desire the things of the world. Put things that you see on the outside. Put more weight into that and put that first over God and the things that you don't see, like your feelings and emotions and all that stuff, like intuition. Okay, because there's a distinction there. It's one or the other. You're putting one or the other first, and it's important. And I was definitely of the world. Okay, I was definitely of the world, and really, I would say most of my life. But thank God for waking me up, shaking me here, and bringing me, just in the world and showing me what real reality is about. And I've kind of touched on these things. But it's important to really kind of just look at yourself right now and ask you, what do you put first? Stuff that's outside, like really possessions, or what other people tell you, and only believe what your physical eyes see, and then anything that you don't see, like in your emotions, your intuition, God, you put that in priorities. That's below everything of the world. Okay. It's important to be in the world, because literally where your awareness is, where your heart is, what you desire, that's what you will get. That's what you will see. And this world, like I said, is death. It's temporary. What is life is eternal. And what we really are is eternal. And I think most people today are really of the world just because they don't even know there's something else. They don't even know who really they are. I know I was in that darkness for a long time. So anyways, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to read a couple things. But really, I encourage you to read from the Bible, the book of John, chapters, I think I wrote it down, chapters 13 through 17. Yeah, chapters 13 through 17. And it's where Jesus is speaking to the disciples at the Last Supper, okay, for Passover dinner. And there's a lot of stuff in there, which I suggest to read yourself. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the last verse of chapter 16 and then read chapter 17. That kind of talks about this. He really talks about of the world and in the world and the differences like throughout those chapters, like 13 through 17. But I'm going to to try to keep this video shorter, I'm going to just read that, okay? So again, it's John chapter 16, verse 33, and then John chapter 17. And this is Jesus speaking. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. These words spake Jesus, and lifted up his eyes to heaven, and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee, as thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, that the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me. And they have kept thy word. Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. For I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I come out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. And all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee. Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. Those that thou gavest me I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. And now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from evil. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from evil. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. And the Lord which thou and the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I in them and thou in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that thou hast sent me and hast loved them as thou hast loved me. Father, I will that they also, whom thou hast given me, be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory, which thou hast given me. For thou lovest me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Father, the world hath not known thee, but I have known thee, and these have known that thou hast sent me. And I have declared unto them thy name, and will declare it, that the love wherewith thou hast loved me may be in them, and I in them. So again, I definitely encourage you to read really chapters 13 through 17, because he talks a lot there. It's all really him speaking that night at the Last Supper. But hopefully you're picking up there kind of what Jesus said the difference between of the world and in the world is. Because you're either one or the other. You know, you're either one or the other. So the question is, are you of the world or in the world? Okay. This video here, to try to keep it short, I'm going to just read one more thing, and it's going to be really quick. It's actually from a radio broadcaster named Paul Harvey, and you can Google this, and I encourage you, even on YouTube, you can search Paul Harvey. If I were the devil. He did a radio broadcast in 1965, and he gets it. He gets of the difference between of the world and in the world. And so, and it's something that really hit me and has stuck with me. Actually, I think Joe Rogan, on one of his podcasts, he even talked about the Paul Harvey radio broadcast and what he said. He actually, I think he read it all, or at least he was talking about it. But you can search Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil, and you can listen to the original broadcast, the recording of the original broadcast here on YouTube. But I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's real short, but he really gets it, okay? Because when you're of the world and you're using the worldly measurements of what's good and what's not, you are totally off. The whole, it's your guitar is not in tune. The scale is not balanced because you're not even aware of what good really is. Okay? And if you want truth, you'll have to seek it because it's not easy. There's a lot of deception in this world. But anyways, I want to go ahead and read this real quick. So Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil. If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers, with the wisdom of a serpent. I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And that meant just not cool, like lame. And the old, I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting. That's kind of like so exaggerated that it's unnatural. So anything natural kind of seems, well, dull. But anyways, I'll read this here. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas, a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what do you bet I could get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich? I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, and moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on the TV is the way to be, and thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. And I know I kind of had little comments there when I looked up. So, but you can definitely just search here on YouTube, and I would encourage you to listen to it because he was a radio broadcaster. I don't have an audio book like a radio voice. I don't have a radio voice or really a video face, television face. But he nailed it right on. And when you listen to him, I encourage you to listen to him say it. Think about where we are today and what has happened really the past, I would say, 150 years, especially the past 80 years. But he was right on. He understands it. He gets what's of the world and what is just like the difference between being of the world and in the world. Basically, he was speaking, trying to make it so that we are all of the world, is what if he was the devil, instead of just knowing who you are and that you're just in the world. Okay? So with that, I know this video was long, but thank you for watching, definitely. And I encourage you to really read the book of John, chapters 13 through 17 yourself, or search Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil, here on YouTube, and just listen to him yourself. But thank you for sticking with me on this. If you like the video, thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Ring-a-ding-a-ling that bell for notifications to let you know when I upload videos. And as always, stay strong. Be in the world. Do not be of the world. And God bless you.